But having said that, I think my take is that there are various parts to this industry. Now, what really happens when we go to the government is we go as one collective whole. I mean, take, for example, the hotel and restaurant business. Capital intensive is hugely very different to a travel trade, very different to an airline, very different to possibly a guy who operates a taxi or surface transport business. So I think there is a very distinct difference. All the gentlemen here, my friends, are all from the hospitality background. I think the important thing is also to separate the parts in the industry when we go to the government. What we are doing is, in the bargain, is we are going, as Veer Vijay just said, that a laundry list of things without having really a sharper points for one particular industry to be helped. And which is the industry that is needing the most help? The hospitality industry, because that is where the capital intensive industry is, where there's the highest amount of loans, etc. are lying, where the maximum number of manpower is sitting. So I think that's important to separate the parts of the industry also when we present the government. While everyone wants to say, the tourism should be seen together, my belief is it should be seen as parts and it should not be seen as together, because I think that makes more sense. Number two, I think is the fact that this industry, I think that was mentioned earlier, the concurrent list and the industry status. I think those are small things. I'm saying a small thing, but they're important things that the government can actually help the industry to be given, because that itself has got so many benefits. Because waivers on special prices for electricity, there are so many. I have seen that list. There are so many benefits in that itself. So that itself will bring in a lot of joy to the industry. Dekho Apna Desh. I don't know how many of you have seen that website of Ministry of Tourism. Dekho Apna Desh is a very, very wonderful initiative by the government. It has got so many components of saying, this is the country, as Prime Minister said, visit 15 sites from Red Fort. But that Dekho Apna Desh itself they are doing marketing even today during COVID times, saying that, people should travel within the country, visit all the interesting places. And as we all, I'm sure collectively believe, surface transport is going to be the new what you call normal, at least the new thing that is going to happen in the future. So wherever you can drive to forts, in places of interest, resorts. I think Dekho Apna Desh, I think is a great idea of the Ministry of Tourism. It just needs to be marketed better. It needs to have a better reach possibly. And all stakeholders must know it better. These are my few points. I have a couple of points. One is that, I think the industry has been reacting about hotels being used for COVID patients. There are three parts to it. One is the quarantine guests. Two is the healthcare workers. Third is the COVID patients. There are three parts to it. Now, this is a national pandemic. It's a pandemic of a level which we have never seen in this country before. At least in our lifetime, we have not seen this. Now, tell me something. I mean, any government today, whether this current government or past government, anybody can handle patients or the level of requirement that they have today. The volume, the sheer volume is so high. I mean, Spain, the topmost hotels in Madrid have been used as hospitals. You can read it recently. New York's, the Plaza, the Four Seasons, they all have been used as hospitals, and people have been used, and the hotels have offered. In fact, Four Seasons offered free healthcare, actually, free healthcare to the workers. Now, my question is that, we need to be a little more sensitive to the demands of the situation today. It's very easy to react that, the hotel should not be used, etc. I think memory is short. If you have good hygiene practices, if you have good processes and systems in place, I'm sure you can return back to normal what you call hospitality, so to say, guests in future. But today, I think is a need where the government can only rely on, if you talk of, as Rajiv rightly said, clean environment, hygienic environment. Where can you go other than hotels? Yes, I mean, it's a difficult one, but I think that is something that we have to deal with as a hospitality industry. And I think I feel it's hard, but I think we have to support it. We are together in this as a nation, not just as an industry, as a nation. I think we need to look at a larger picture more than just being slightly narrow in this. You see, my take also is the fact that, there's an in-between period, which is, we're talking of pre-vaccine and post-vaccine, but we're not talking of the in-between period, to me, what I call the medicine that is going to come in for cure of COVID. I think that is the most important thing at this stage, because vaccine will happen 12 months from now, which is very far away. And we don't know the timelines. So medication itself, I think, will bring a certain amount of confidence. The fact is that, when you fall sick, you don't know whether you'll be on ventilator, you will be in the, in what condition you will be. But once there is a definitive medicine that comes in for cure, or whether it is for the mild or for moderate symptoms or even for serious symptoms, I think that itself will be a breakthrough, according to me. And I think some breakthrough has already happened. I think that will instill a certain amount of confidence. What is the biggest thing today? Fear. The fear is the biggest thing today that we have to overcome. There's nothing else is more important today than your health and your near one, dear one's health, and there's fear. So that's why you won't travel. Okay, you are cautious. Once you have the medication, then you know that you can take the medication and you can travel and you will be well. That's fine. As far as recovery is concerned, I think I would tend to agree with most panelists what they've said. I don't see it happening in the next, my window is between 12 to 18 months again. Yes, there are some hotels, I've spoken to personally some operators who are saying that by Q3 of this year, the occupancies will go into the range of that 30-35%. And some bookings of some hotels are showing a trend of 60-70% in the fourth quarter. So I hope they're all true. They happen. Because I think what's going to happen is not so much the MICE business. I think it's the wedding business that's going to come in. Because that can't wait. Even if it's a 50 people business, it's going to be valuable business for hotels. And that bookings are already coming in, kicking in hotels. So they're all waiting to say that whether we can say yes to their business or not. Because we don't know the definitive timeline of the government's point of view of when they're going to open. But I have a feeling that that business is going to kick in quickly. Also, Dilip, an important thing that we have to understand is there is a lot of pent-up demand in the city itself. Imagine you're locked in a home for last 3 months. You've got to get out to even a staycation in a hotel. Friends who's ready to go to a hotel, whether it's any brand for that matter, decent hotel, clean hotel, where they have trust. And that's where the hotels will come in saying that how are we communicating to our customers, saying that it is safe to come to us. We have got the highest levels of hygiene. We are complying by WHO standards. We are complying by FSSAI, by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. All those standards we are complying and beyond. So that communication, regular communication with customers is also going to be a very important part in ensuring that you get the business back if you so desire, right? Whenever everybody will want to. So I think that is my limited point because I think it will come back, but I think that city demand also will be there. Apart from, as Veeru said and Rahul also said, the motorable distances today are going to be in demand. Like in Bombay, for example, Lonavala, Khandalas, even Nasik or even other metros around Mumbai where it's motorable, people will go there and people want to get out. I think people are urging and dying to get out of their homes. So Dilip, it's like, for me, I think one of the most critical things that's actually plaguing or disturbing the industry is the mental health of the hospitality workers today. And I think that's something that requires really attention from various hotel owners, groups, or individual standalone hotels, etc. Because I think there's a tremendous need for professional help, counseling, for saying that you care for them, that support and compassion. Because we are in a crisis, we understand that, and people are going to lose their jobs. But is there a kinder way of doing it? Is there a kinder way of doing it? Employee is actually, even the current hotels that are running, which have got quarantine guests and which have got healthcare workers and so on, I think the employees are so constantly paranoid because they have families, like the healthcare workers, I salute them. They have the same situation where the hotel workers are. They're constantly concerned about their families and how they're going to get back and they won't be fine, they won't have the virus, they won't contract it. So, like for example, I know the ISCL, my previous company, has done this 24/7 helpline, which basically is a caregiver kind of a concept, which is available to any employee, and you can just call on that line, and you can talk to a professional counselor who can reassure you, who can tell you do's and don'ts, who can help you get you in a better mental state more than anything else. It's not about money. It's about people just now feeling reassured. As I said earlier, there's a lot of fear in people's mind. To bring in that reassurance and talking to somebody who can help you is an extremely, extremely important thing today. And I think the more we do it, the more we actually give it. In times of crisis, in times of situations like what we are today, is only when is the time for us to shine, is the time for us to take this opportunity to even build your brand. What is your brand value otherwise if you don't care for people? You got to care for people. It can be transactional. You got to care for them. And you got to make sure that, end of the day, whatever little you can do, I know people have been furloughed and and people have losing jobs, but is there a way to say people can go on leave for 6 months or 5 months without an assurance that they will come back? But at least mentally they are in a better state. And as Rahul said, upskilling today, reimagining your own jobs again. I think that's the need of the hour today, because upskilling is going to really help us.